day for our Tuesday talk. I know that Chris is not here today. He's actually spending some quality time with family. So we'll just start with a couple announcements and then we'll kind of roll into some information. Did you want to start, Miss Judy?
Good morning. I am Vice President of your RORO board. And Chris, we actually ran into him and his family in the pub for breakfast this morning. And they were headed to Clearwater Beach. So hope they're going to have a good time. And happy Pi Day. And for you non-math people, 3.14 is used in algebraic equations for circles. And I don't know what else, but today is 314. So happy Pi Day.
I like that. I see what you did there.
Yes. And this morning, Tony Quattromani has an announcement about ROVA today.
Hi, well, I'm Tony Quattromani. There is a Rover meeting this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Colonel retired from the Army, Larry Wood, will talk to us. And this is perfect timing because he's going to talk to us about China-U.S. relations. And then tomorrow, Great Decisions, we have another meeting, so good timing. And by the way, I am a math major, and this is a happy day for me.
Johanna, you have a little announcement?
Okay, Tony. Good morning, I'm Johanna Guzik, and I'm sort of on a campaign to see that we all wear badges. Look around, how many of you do? I mean, they furnish us a badge and it has a purpose. And I know that we know one another, but there are an awful lot of new people who keep coming in, and they'd like to know who we are too. So keep in mind, wear your badges, please. And I have a specific use for mine. I call it a bibbit. I take it off and I put my cloth napkin up and I anchor it with my badge. So if you're wearing your badge, you always have a bib. And your clothes are clean. My other, last week I was told I couldn't do 2 announcements, but I'm really here for the scholarship fund. And the scholarship fund has been given 4 baby sweaters knitted by Peggy Aiello. This may be her last donation to us. Her hands are getting arthritic. So if you don't have anyone in your family that you want to give this to, we have decided that you're going to donate the sweater to the pregnancy center called Kimberly House. So the tickets are $5. I know we don't carry any money, but I love to take down IOUs, and I will trust you. And you can buy as many as you want. An update on the scholarship fund. Right now we are accepting applications for scholarships. 18 have picked them up. Is that right, Judy? 18 have already picked them up. We have opened it this year to the children of an associate who lives here. We have one who's going on into engineering, has picked up an application. So this goes to a good cause, and right here next week I'll be here selling them again, and we're going to raffle it and then we'll be done with this.
Okay.
Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Miss Johanna. Okay. Any other announcements? No? Can you still hear me well? Okay, good. Well, just to kind of give a couple updates, Innovative Home Services, I know you want to have a couple things you wanted to share?
Sure. Good morning, I'm Maddie. Christine wanted me to let you know that we have an estate sale tomorrow in the north in S504, and we're going to be raffling off another free hour of service. So we'll put some crosswords in everyone's mailbox tonight.
All right. Thank you, Maddie.
The sale, 9:30. All right, we'll see you there.
All right, so just rolling into our Tuesday Talk content, we have COVID updates. We did move in a little bit of a direction. We do have one positive resident in the north building, so we are still keeping an eye on that. We will not continue doing the weekly calls just yet, but if it grows a little bit further, we might need to re-implement that. But for now, we do have one COVID resident. Couple housekeeping updates from Evan. Camille, our healthcare admissions coordinator, will be coming back in the next week or so. So Evan will be back in his role as the environmental director, so he'll be back here with us. But he just wanted us to mention that they're going to be completing cleaning on the lint traps in the south laundry areas, and they will also perform a heavier cleaning in those areas. Again, with some of our construction timelines, we are finalizing repairs in the additional areas in the salon, the relaxed space room and the hydro massage. These will be open during the business hours of the salon, and we are still working out what that's going to look like. So our new salon is open. She is open for business as of today. She was here yesterday starting to get everything moved in, but she is now in the new area at the beauty salon. But those two back areas are not open yet as they are having to patch up the holes from the sprinkler system. So you'll see a ladder in there and a couple other things they are finishing before we can get those areas up and running. Telecommunications in the town hall, we are still of course working on the fire panel situation. We have ordered that equipment and it is going to be here in a few weeks. I have mentioned quite a few times we are hosting a corporate conference that was pre-planned many moons ago in there, and we did have to rent equipment and we did have to implement a hired fire watch in order to make that happen. So we do have about 50 corporate people here from other communities, not so much our LCS corporate support, but from other communities doing conference and training. And we had to rent the AV systems as well as Firewatch. So that's the only reason we've even went to such lengths, is because we really didn't have many other options as it had been planned and people had booked their tickets and flights, etc., etc. So you will see them and they will be here for today, Wednesday and Thursday. Most all day long they will be in that area. Just a little bit of follow-ups. I know I've been addressed with a lot of questions I still can't answer from the dining program, so I did make Ricky aware. He is back. He is feeling better, so we're just making sure that he rests and takes it easy. But I did make him aware of some of the questions that were addressed with discussions with the board, discussions that residents have come to me about. So anything from the dress code to the gastropub hours to the weekend brunch, Ricky is going to be addressing in his dining meeting. I didn't really have the answers or the whys, why the brunch takes 2 hours on the weekend or why we don't have the gastropub open, but I am working with Ricky and so he can answer those questions. I had actually asked him to be here today, but he is helping the conference. We have to feed them, I guess. So he is helping over there. We're building that back their community, don't worry. So I know it was mentioned that the hot tub timer, we have replaced that a couple times and we have replaced it again now. So there is a timer to the hot tub and it has been replaced. So we'll make sure to keep an eye on that. I know there was some discussion last Tuesday talk about the location of a specific plaque that I did have the pleasure of seeing. So as you probably can see, it has been hung and Miss Bobby was kind enough to help us purchase a light and make sure that we got that up. But it was asked to be requested in that location by the actual artist. So I know there was some discussion about whether it would go in the new town hall or where that would go, but the artist themselves, Mr. Strayer, did request that it goes there, and we did purchase a nice light to make sure that it's well highlighted. I know I mentioned it a couple times, I've seen walkers that have little tags on them with the label makers. It's very classy, but we'd like to move in a little different direction if you prefer. We did order luggage tags, not only for your luggage, because we want you to be traveling, but for any of your assisted equipment, whether that be your chair or your walkers, we can give those out to you. They're beautiful little Regency Oaks luggage tags. They have our logo, and that way it's just something a little better so you can identify your assisted devices in the event that they might get mixed up. Because I think now you're all kind of either writing it on there in a piece of tape or a label maker of some sort. So we'll have those at the front desk if you would like them. Just another reminder, Miss Bobby's been really good at keeping us in line with this. As you know, we've been doing a lot of renovations post-fire in that area. But in general, we are asking, and it's an educational piece that I need to make sure we address with the team as well, but we are asking that you don't use large bolts or nails or screws in these walls. There's a lot of different types of walls, texture, wallpaper. So we are asking that you please do not do that, to utilize command strips. And obviously we have some work to do as a community and our team as well for that educational piece. We heard you've mentioned it a couple times now, the resident handbook. Apparently it has been many years since it's been updated. So Betsy has heard you and she is working on that. I believe she's talked to Miss Johanna as well. So,
Andrew Hagner too.
oh yes, thank
And
you.
Margaret Henry too. So the three of us are doing it.
Perfect.
Pooling our backgrounds.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your collaboration in advance. But we will be working on that. It will be quite an undertaking. It has been many, many years since it's been updated. So we're going to try our best to get that done as soon as possible. But that is in the works now. Just a little bit more information. We are continuing with North Lobby areas. We did receive some samples for flooring. We've got the carpet, now we've got the flooring. We did receive about 4 or 5 boxes of samples, and so I met with Miss Bobby. She is going to meet with the design team, and we will kind of go from there in deciding what those floor samples look like for the continued renovation. Obviously, as we've mentioned, once we have had to go in and update those particular wings, now we have to pull it into the main areas so it's aesthetically makes sense, right? So it's aesthetically pleasing, it looks nice, and it matches. Oh, I think it was one more. Oh, one last thing. Don't want to miss that part, Ginger. One last thing is we have had a lot of talk about parking. We hear you, we understand, and Ginger is working with a particular resident with the parking. So that as well will be quite an undertaking, but we do ask that you park in your assigned spots. I know every resident should have a spot, that you park in your assigned spot. I think some of the issues have been people parking in guests, etc. Lots of issues, not pointing fingers. It's definitely a whole process that we need to overhaul, and I know Ginger has already tackled that. So thank you, Ginger, and we'll continue working on that with that resident. Just some updates for this week. We don't have a whole lot going on at all. So we've got our Bella Row, 20th and the 27th. Gourmet is the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. The ROVA, Regency Oaks Veterans Association, will be Tuesday, March 14th, today at 2 p.m. in Grand Lobby South. Great Decisions in China, I believe you just mentioned that, March 15th at 2 p.m., Grand Lobby South. And then we'll have a theater group Thursday.
3 p.m.
I'm sorry?
Great Decisions is at 3
Great
p.m.
Decisions is at 3 p.m. Okay, 3 p.m. Sorry about that, that's a typo, I apologize. So theater group Thursday, March 16th at 1 p.m. in the activity room south, right, Ginger?
Correct.
Okay. And then the Carla Hines vocalist, Friday, March 17th at 7 p.m. in the Grand Lobby South. And that would be St. Patty's Day as well. So we did get an emailed announcement, and please do, if you guys have something you want us to mention to the community or to mention in Tuesday Talk, most certainly stop by, send me an email, send me a text, Betsy, and we can include anything that you would like. But Christine emailed and had mentioned karaoke on the Breezeway on Monday, March 20th. Pizza will be served that evening, and they're planning karaoke to start around 5:15. And they want to encourage participation of all levels of singers. So, all types, with or without talent. So, again, a couple project updates. Blue Team is in the north building, corridors S wing, 4th floor, finishing the painting. They're going to start on the 3rd floor to prep and prime. We are needing an updated schedule from them this week. Toby, our project manager, is actually out on bereavement, so I have a call with them today to try to get more updates for scheduling. Again, Beauty Salon is now open, so Betsy can kind of help me further communicate, that way everybody is aware and doesn't go to the old beauty salon, but the new one is now open. So we'll make sure that everybody gets that information. New town hall alarm system is almost complete. We're just waiting on the approval for the sprinklers on the covered walkway. You probably still see those beautiful holes cut into our beautiful breezeways, and that's part of the project. So, I did get a request from Dawn, our HR director. We are really working on revamping our orientation process with our employees. Of course, this parlays into retention and a good onboarding process and program. So she just wanted to share some opportunities that you can participate for new hire orientation. So we usually do the meet and greet. You can share your Regency Oaks experiences. We can do a one-day video, review the scholarship program, and if you do have any of these things you would like to participate and or meet with our new hires about, you can most certainly see Dawn about those. So anything you want to share, obviously the scholarship program, the employee gift fund, any of your great experiences, anything that you'd want to share with our new hires, we could either have you attend or we can have you help you do a one-day video as some type of testimonial. But we're really looking at additional ways to engage our new associates and to bring them into our community right off the bat when they start. So I know we put out some correspondence. This stemmed from a conversation we had with the Railroad Board, and Mr. Chris said, you know, I really think we have too many meetings. I said, okay, tell me more. And so we kind of discussed that the OIR does require us to have the quarterly forum, and I know we were doing it monthly. So we have pulled back on that to doing it quarterly. There are still numerous other ways and policies and facets that we can have communication, and we are most certainly open to suggestions that you have in other ways. But we did want to kind of, as Chris had mentioned, there's many numerous processes and meetings and ways to communicate, and we just kind of went from once a month to once a quarter. They felt like that was quite frequent, so we kind of obliged, and again, if there's any issues with that, we're most certainly open to suggestions. But just a reminder to utilize our other processes or venues. In the know with RO, our weekly department meetings, I know Darwin hosts one, I know Ricky hosts one. Anything you have pertinent to maintenance, anything you have pertinent to dining, please attend those meetings. You're speaking right to the director that's going to be able to address those. I know many of you come and see me, and that's okay too, you most certainly can, but usually what I do is go right back to that director because they're going to know more about that process than I do. They're the ones that are involved in that process day in and day out. So we really strongly encourage those meetings, and we can most certainly expand upon them. We do want to do some work in some revamping of our new move-in process with our residents. So a new resident monthly luncheon to be re-implemented, and then the getting to know you to be re-implemented. So these are just some of the things we would like to get back. I know there were certain things that I did at my past community that I know we do here at Regency Oaks as well. Some of it subsided during COVID and just never came back. Some of it just needs to be revisited. So we're most certainly coming back to the table on those processes. But the message for now is that the forum meetings will now go from the monthly to the quarterly, and that will be the second month of each quarter. And we'll make sure that that's communicated and received and documented per the OIR. Okay. All right, well that's a whole lot of updates I have, not too much I don't think from one week to another. Was there any questions about any of that or any feedback you'd like us to see or to be doing?
You mentioned that we have a new timer on the hot tub.
Yes.
I was there yesterday. The hot tub is not 104 degrees, it was 105 or more.
Okay.
And the timer, I was not aware that it was working. The problem with the timer is it's never turned off. And so the jets would be going and going, and they've burned out all of the motors. The jets are not working on the hot tub. And if that's a new timer, okay, I'll go along with that, but I didn't notice that it automatically turned anything off.
So I'll follow up with Darwin, but he did give me insight. He says that a lot of people will go in there and kind of crank the timer on, and that will either keep it on, that will break the timer. So we are replacing it, but I'll try to get further clarification for you.
And the jets.
In the jets, okay.
So I thought the timer turns the jets on, so if you're not turning the timer.
I guess it wasn't.
Okay, we'll look into that. Thank you, Ms. Johanna.
I want to point out, if you have any questions or concerns, you can give it to me or to any member of your RORO board. And I encourage that.
Thank you, Miss Judy. Any other questions? Y'all are a silent bunch today. Hey, I'll take it. Meeting adjourned.
There is someone over there. Wait a minute.
Mr. Carter has something.
Thank you. Well, last year they had a large container out front by, I guess, on each front desk for personal type papers.
Yes.
It's that time of the year when you throw away a lot of papers. And it was a big, heavy-duty locked
Okay.
container.
Yep.
I'd like to see that back again.
Yes.
A couple
It'll be
people
annually.
asked me, what am I supposed to do with it? And I said, well, I can take it out, bury it in the garden, but that's not really
Let's make a
good.
bonfire.
Yeah.
Just for,
So I'm working on
One
scheduling
quick
that.
item. You speak a little fast
oh,
for
okay.
me. I don't hear as fast as I used to.
Okay. I will try to speak slower.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So just in response to that, we are working on getting that schedule. Betsy Ginger, did we have a month for that yet?
I've always done it like the end of March, beginning of April, around tax season.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my contact at the shredding company is no longer there, so I'm still trying to get in touch with someone
Okay.
to get them. But
Okay. Did everyone hear Betsy's response? She is working on it. She's reached out to our contact that normally provides that service. It's usually around the end of March or April, and we have not been successful, so we're working on an alternative provider for the shredding.
for the large shred bins to come back.
For the large shred bin.
Did I miss something, or is the gym open, or delayed, or are we gonna have training?
So we have not had the training out yet. We're trying to get Fitness Smith out. You can most certainly use the gym. It is open, but we have not gotten Fitness Smith out yet. They are the equipment provider, and we're still trying to get them out here to train Zelco. But you can most certainly use the equipment if you would like to. The gym is open.
I have been using the gym, and one of the old pieces of equipment that used to be in the other gym that's now in the new fitness center is broken. I've talked to Zelco about that.
Okay, thank you.
Bill, you have a question or a comment? Tony's coming.
Thank you, Tony. We like to socialize and have lunch out in the breezeway, and I guess maybe I'm stupid or I didn't realize it, but you can go out in the breezeway and take your food, or they'll bring it out to you, and as long as you take your dishes back, so you can go out there and have lunch. I didn't know that, so I thought maybe a dining committee would be nice if they would let everybody know, because it is important to us.
Absolutely.
We don't all like to go sit in the pub at lunch because it's always dark in there.
Sure.
And it's, we're here to enjoy the weather.
We'll have to bring our dishes back?
That's what I understand. You take your dishes back.
I probably should address that as chairman of the dining committee. You will not be served in the breezeway. You go in, you order your food, you wait for it, you pick it up and carry it out there yourself, take your dishes back. But we do not have table service in the breezeway.
Yes, and as I mentioned, that was something that I spoke to Ricky about because of our conversation that he was going to clarify in his dining meeting.
Going back to the gym, I would just like to ask Mia, will Selco be on hand to go through some of the new machines with us? Because I have a feeling that some people might think they know, myself
Sure.
included,
Of course.
and then you end up with a fleet of ambulances
Oh,
outside.
no.
So I just wanted to know if that was going to be a policy for him.
Yes, so Zelko's a full-time employee with us, so he most certainly will be accessible. And again, we're waiting on Fitness Smith to be able to train him on that equipment, and then he can train you, the residents, and us as well. So it's really just trying to get them back out here.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Of course.
Are we now gonna start calling it the gym and not the exercise room?
Or fitness center.
Or fitness center? Does it matter?
I don't have any knowledge of a name change by any means.
Okay.
What has it been called? Fitness Center? Okay.
I have a question about marketing and Perry.
Okay.
Is he not going to come back? Are you going to search for another director for marketing?
Yes, so I'm actually doing that now. Like I mentioned, Perry did depart us. He went to be with his sick mother. He will not be back. We don't anticipate him to come back. He moved to Virginia, and I am currently recruiting for that position. I've had a couple interviews, and we are just following our process, trying to find the best qualified candidate. Yes, sir.
Ricky does a Thursday talk. Does it come on 7:32 afterwards?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay, so we do something on Thursday morning, so we cannot go. I was just hoping that, I could get to see it at least.
Sure. I don't know. I can probably talk with him to see how we can facilitate that.
It's menu chat. It lasts 10 minutes.
Hi, this isn't a question for you, Lindsay. Okay, I want to tell everybody that Eleanor Fenn asked me to head the Because We Care group. She put the net out, and I agreed to head it. I just want to tell you all, you can't find 50-cent cards anywhere. Our card sales have dropped, because I know 63 cents a stamp. I can understand that. But please remember, as you're going by the craft store, you might want to pick up cards or thank you cards, thinking of you. If somebody's ill here, they're thrilled to get a card. It's nice to know that somebody thinks of you. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Any other
That
questions?
was summer cider.
Any
That
other
is
questions
something.
before we adjourn? Anything else? Okay. We all have a beautiful Tuesday. Enjoy this amazing weather. We got a little cold snap. It's pretty. No, you don't like it? We're going to be very happy in about a month for this. So let's practice our gratitude. Y'all have a great day.